are 3-0 after beating the Alcorn State Braves down there in Longman. It was tougher than we thought, but Trey Tyler had one of the best games of his young career so far. 5 touchdown passes in one game. That's a career high. But let's go down here to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We got an interesting matchup in the SWAC this weekend. We're going to get our first look at the Southern Jaguars. Kenny Gaston, believe it or not, Kenny Gaston is an impact player now. I see why he left Alabama State. He had bigger and better things waiting on him down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So Alabama A&M's in town. They just came off that big win versus Syracuse, getting their first win of the season. The Southern Jaguars coming to this game at 2-0. Now it seems like these teams are evenly matched. Alabama A&M still deciding who do they want to put back there at quarterback. Daniel Harris got benched last week for Jeremy Brashes, but Daniel Harris is back this time. And there goes Suba, having a nice start to the season. In 2 games, he has over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Not a bad start. The Southern Jaguars, though, are hoping to depend more on Kenny Gaston because his role has become bigger now that he's an impact player. But look at Daniel Harris finding Jack Rackley up the left sideline, past the 30, inside the 20, bank it, touchdown, Alabama A&M. The Bulldogs out the locker room, strike first, and they're already up 7-0. Can Southern respond though? So there goes Suba, stepping back to pass. He pops it deep, and that pass is picked off. Eric Callahan with another interception. He had one last week, and now he has his second pick of the season. So here goes A&M again. There goes Daniel Harris stepping back to pass. He pops it, and there goes Carlos King making the catch and tackled at the 20-yard line. They're approaching the red zone, a 3rd and 10 situation. Daniel Harris rolls out to the right. He pops it in the end zone, and that's picked off. What an excellent interception in the end zone by the Southern Jaguars. That was a dangerous pass by Daniel Harris. He has now thrown 4 interceptions in the last 2 games. He's having a bad start. This is why he keeps getting benched. Don't be surprised if Jamie Brashes comes in. So here goes Suba, stepping back to pass. He pops it. He finds his impact player, Kenny Gaston. Look at that. Can't believe he's an impact player after transfer. Suba this time popped it and is picked off. Ha ha ha. Dang. Suba with another interception on the day. That's 2 already for him after throwing just 1. So here goes Daniel Harris looking deep, and that pass is caught by Carlos King, and he goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Their best wide receiver comes through yet again. Alabama A&M extends their lead to 14-0. So here goes Daniel Harris again. He's popping it deep this time, and that pass is once again caught. 10, touchdown! Wow! Carlos King again. Carlos King is a beast. We're going to have to watch out for him. That's a 69-yard pass. 21-0 past the 6 Southern Jaguars. Suba, this he picked off again. God dang, Suba. So there goes another pick for the A&M defense. That's the 3rd one. That's Dukes that time. 2nd and long. A&M on offense. Jack Rackley had a pretty good game last week versus Syracuse, and here he goes again, running all over Southern. So they decide to settle for 3 points. The kick is up and the kick is good. Their lead is now 24-0 at half. So we go to the 4th quarter. There goes Kenny Gaston. Southern finally finds the end zone. They decide to go for 2. The snap, there goes Super, handed off to Kenny Gaston, and he gets into the end zone once again. The Alabama State transfer puts up the only points for the Southern Jaguars, believe it or not. So on this punt, Southern's getting the ball, and Buddy right here just straight fumbled it. And then A&M recovers it, and he takes that thing all the way back to the crib. And that, once again, is Callahan. Touchdown, Alabama A&M. They scored on special teams and on offense. Super steps back to pass. Can they finally get something going on offense? No, they cannot. And that time it's Graham Gray making that interception off a deflection. The Southern Jaguars are getting put in a spliff right now. So there goes Daniel Harris. This time he has all day to pass, and he's looking deep for Craig Johnson. He breaks a tackle, and he goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow. What a performance by Daniel Harris. He ends the game with 4 touchdown passes. This last one, he had to elude defenders just to get this pass off. What a performance by Daniel Harris as the Alabama A&M Bulldogs get out of Baton Rouge with a big victory in the Bluff, 38-8. They 30-balled the Southern Jaguars. Southern suffers their first defeat of the season. Alabama A&M is now at an even 2-2. They're at 500 for the first time this season. Can they keep that momentum going? What about the Southern Jaguars? What's going to happen with them for the season? We'll find out soon enough. So let's look at the rest of the scores. We took care of Alcorn State. You saw the Southern Jaguars get put in the Spliff 30 ball by the Alabama A&M Bulldogs 38-8. The Grambling State Tigers win the State Fair Classic over Prairie View A&M. The Florida Classic, Bethune-Cookman beat Florida A&M for the second consecutive year. 37-16, Texas Southern over Mississippi Valley State. What's wrong with Valley? So let's look at the MEAC. Norfolk State loses. Army comes through against North Carolina A&T. South Carolina State beat Hampton 49-21. Delaware State falls to Tennessee State 52-21. Howard loses to Morgan State 52-41. A lot of high-scoring affairs. So let's look at some recruiting real quick. So we're going hard after this linebacker from Trinity, North Carolina, Kevin Jackson. Second on his list, we're battling North Carolina State for him. Next on the list we're looking at is Stephen McIntosh out of Florida. Now, we need more speed at the safety positions, but we also need to be deeper, and we need to be better. So Steve McIntosh has us on the top of his list. Donald Harris has us in fourth on his list. Oregon State, Wyoming, and Boise State are on top of his list right now. We might have to cut ties with him. So we're going to go with this strong safety from California, Roseville that is, Brad Long. We're battling USC for him, and look at that, he runs a 4.39. We really need that speed back there, badly. And then Bobby Swaggart from Florida, Hollywood, Florida, has us on the top of his list. Poor potential and poor discipline, but we can't worry about that no more. We need players. Todd Davis has us second on his list. He's also from Florida, Haines City. He has us second on his list behind them Georgia Bulldogs. So we got to continue to build that Florida pipeline and keep it very strong. So the Magic City Classic rivalry rounds out the SWAT offensive defensive players of the week, and rightfully so. Trey Tyler, you saw him against Alcorn. Emmanuel Callahan, though, an interception, a tackle, and a scoop to score for a touchdown. And then look at this. Morgan State round out MEAC offensive and defensive players of the week with Eric Hubbard and Andrew Ward. Both of them had stellar games. Now let's look at the SWAC standings. Alabama A&M right now sits on top of the SWAC East. Plenty of football left to be played though. Followed by Texas Southern. Arkansas Pablo haven't even played a SWAC game yet. That's crazy. Alabama State is in control right now. Well, not in full control of the SWAC West. Grambling State and Bethune-Cookman, they all start off at 1-0 as well. Plenty of football left to be played, people. Can't determine anything off of the first couple of weeks. Meanwhile, over there at the MEAC, you have the South Carolina State Bulldogs and the Tennessee State Tigers tied 3-1 overall, 1-0 in conference play. But look at Morgan State. They're 1-0 in conference play too. But no doubt, these are the two best teams in the MEAC right now. So join us next time. We got some interesting matchups for y'all. The battle of the winless in Mississippi. Jackson State versus Mississippi Valley State. The Mississippi schools out there ain't doing too good right now. And we got what could be the game of the year in the MEAC. The two best teams are going at it in Nashville. The South Carolina State Bulldogs are in town to take on the Tennessee State Tigers. Join us next time. Peace.